According to the World Health Organization, there were approximately 35 million people worldwide living with HIV and AIDS in 2013. Of these 35 million, 3.2 of them were children under the age of 15. Most of these children lived in sub-Saharan Africa and were infected by their HIV-positive mothers during pregnancy, childbirth, or breastfeeding. As of 2011, 69% of the people infected with HIV live in sub-Saharan Africa, which is approximately 24.7 million people. Over there to the side, you can see a pie chart of the number of cases of HIV and AIDS in younger children in Africa. So that's what that shows. And you can see the most is in Kenya right now. HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. And HIV is passed on through unprotected sex, coming in contact with someone else's blood, injecting drugs through sharing needles, and from mother to child in pregnancy, childbirth, and breastfeeding. AIDS stands for Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome, and AIDS is actually caused by HIV. The first recognized cases of AIDS occurred in the United States in the early 1980s. In southern Africa, in the mid-1980s, HIV and AIDS was almost unheard of. Now it's the most affected region. In 2012, 26.5% of Swaziland's population is infected with HIV and AIDS. 23% of Botswana's population is infected. 23.1% of Lesotho's population is infected. And in South Africa, 17.9% of the population is infected with HIV and AIDS. This is equivalent to about 6.1 million people. In West Africa, it was only moderately affected. In Senegal, 0.5% of their population is infected. In Cameroon, 4.5% of their population was infected. In Gabon, 4% of the population was infected. And in Nigeria, 3.1% of the population is infected. Now, considering how large Nigeria is with the population, this equals about 3.4 million people who are infected. In East Africa, in the past 2 decades, the general prevalence has declined. For example, in Kenya, it has gone from 14% to 6% of the population that is infected. Despite the decline, there's a rising concern with HIV prevalence among people who inject drugs, prisoners, and uniformed servicemen, like people in the army or in like the police force that they have there. This map right here shows the percentage of HIV-positive young women in sub-Saharan Africa, and you can clearly see that right here on the southern portion of Africa, it's more heavily infected, with it being 20% or more of the entire population. So that's what the red shows right there. Some of the impacts that HIV and AIDS have on this region is a low life expectancy, so people are dying off at younger ages than what they should. A dissolving household, which means that parents will fall ill to HIV and AIDS and they can't work to provide for their family. So it's basically tearing these families apart. Chronic shortage of healthcare workers and hospital resources. A lot of this has to do with the fact that some of the healthcare workers actually end up getting HIV and AIDS. School attendance drops. So the children who do actually go to school, some of them get sick, or they have to take care of the younger siblings if their parents have died due to this illness. And the majority of the infected people are working age, so that is a range of 15 to 49. So if they are infected, they obviously can't go to work because they're too weak and they're not strong enough to do the work that is required of them. This map right here shows the amount of people living with HIV in the entire world, and you can see that sub-Saharan Africa definitely takes the cake on this one. It has 24.7 million people who are infected. The second is Asia and the Pacific, and then the third is North American, Western, and Central Europe. Those are all really high numbers, but sub-Saharan Africa definitely has the largest population of HIV positive people.